Hey everyone, ready to dive into the fascinating world of leather finishing?
I'm excited. It's a craft that often goes unnoticed but plays a huge role in the quality and look of the leather goods we use every day.
Exactly. We're talking about those skilled artisans who transform raw leather into the beautiful, durable material we see in everything, from jackets and bags to car seats and furniture.
It's like they're alchemists, using specialized machines and techniques to give leather its final look, feel, and even special properties like waterproofness.
Absolutely. And today, we're going to help you prepare for a leather finishing operator interview.
That's right, we'll be drawing insights from RoleCatcher.com, a fantastic resource that offers in-depth career and interview guides for all sorts of
Well,
professions.
let me tell you, their guide for leather finishing operators is packed with valuable information.
It is. We'll be diving into some of the most common interview questions and providing tips on how to craft standout answers that showcase your skills and passion for the craft.
But we're not stopping there.
Oh no. We'll also be sprinkling in some fascinating career insights along the way.
So you'll not only learn how to ace the interview, but you'll also gain a deeper understanding of what it's really like to work as a leather finishing operator.
Sounds like a plan.
Now, before we jump into those interview questions, I have to share a little tidbit from the RoleCatcher guide that I found super interesting.
Okay, I'm all ears.
Did you know that even a slight variation in the dye mixture can ruin an entire batch of leather?
Wow, really? I had no idea the margin for error was so small.
It's all about precision, attention to detail, and a deep understanding of the chemistry involved.
That's incredible. It really highlights the skill and expertise of these artisans.
Absolutely. All right, let's get down to business and tackle those interview questions.
Sounds good. Let's do it.
The RoleCatcher Guide provides 9 common questions that you're likely to encounter during a leather finishing operator interview.
Okay, perfect.
So we'll go through each one and provide guidance on how to approach them effectively.
That'll be super helpful for our listeners.
Absolutely. So let's start with the classic opening question. What inspired you to become a leather finishing operator?
Ah, yes. The dreaded tell me about yourself question.
Well, it doesn't have to be dreaded. It's actually a fantastic opportunity to make a strong first impression and set the tone for the rest of the interview.
You're right. It's a chance to share your story, showcase your passion, and let your personality shine through.
Exactly. Now, a lot of people might be tempted to give a generic response like, I've always been interested in working with my hands, or I needed a job.
Yeah, those answers don't really stand out, do they?
Not really. Instead, think about what truly drew you to this craft.
Right. What sparked that initial interest?
Was it a specific leather piece that captivated you? A beautifully crafted handbag? A vintage leather jacket? Or perhaps the transformative process itself?
Or maybe it's a family connection to the industry. A grandfather who was a shoemaker, or a parent who worked in leather goods manufacturing.
Those personal connections can be really powerful. The key is to share a genuine story that reveals your passion and enthusiasm for leather work.
I love that. It's about authenticity and letting your love for the craft shine through.
Exactly. Now, the guide also mentions that a lot of candidates get tripped up by the question, what are some of the challenges you've faced as a leather finishing operator, and how did you overcome them?
Oh, that's a tricky one. It can feel like they're trying to catch you out or make you admit to weaknesses.
I know, right? But it's important to remember that they're not trying to trick you. They're simply trying to gauge your problem-solving skills and resilience.
Okay, that makes sense.
So instead of getting flustered or trying to avoid the question, think of a specific challenge you encountered on the job.
And it doesn't have to be some major catastrophe. It could be something as simple as troubleshooting a machine malfunction or figuring out how to achieve a specific finish on a delicate type of leather.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The key is to be specific, provide details, and walk them through your thought process and the steps you took to overcome the challenge.
So instead of just saying, I had a problem with the dye once, you'd elaborate and say something like, I was working on a batch of aniline leather and the dye wasn't adhering properly. I double-checked the dye mixture, adjusted the application technique, and even consulted with a more experienced colleague before finally identifying the issue and finding a solution.
That's a perfect example. You've provided context, details, and showcased your problem-solving skills.
And it demonstrates a willingness to learn and seek help when needed, which are valuable qualities in any workplace.
Absolutely. All right, let's move on to the next question. How do you ensure that you maintain quality standards in your work?
This seems like a great opportunity to highlight that attention to detail and precision we talked about earlier.
It is. This is your chance to impress them with your knowledge and meticulous approach to leather finishing.
So what kind of things should we emphasize in our answer?
Well, you can talk about your process for inspecting the leather for imperfections before you even begin the finishing process.
That's a good point. Catching those flaws early on can save a lot of time and hassle later.
Exactly. And then you can discuss how you conduct color tests to ensure the dye matches the client's specifications.
And don't forget about the importance of using precise measurements when mixing dyes and finishes.
Absolutely. Any slight variation can impact the final outcome.
It's like baking a cake. You need to follow the recipe carefully to achieve the desired results.
Exactly. And you can even mention specific finishing techniques that require extra care and attention to detail, like nubuck, which has that velvety texture achieved by sanding the leather surface.
Ooh, nubuck. That's one of my favorites. It's so soft and luxurious.
It is, but it's also more delicate and requires a skilled hand to achieve that perfect finish.
All right, I'm taking notes. Attention to detail, precision, color tests, specific techniques. I'm starting to feel more confident about tackling this question.
That's what we want to hear. Now, let's shift gears and address a crucial aspect of the job: safety. The next question focuses on how do you ensure that you follow safety protocols?
This is where we show our commitment to maintaining a safe working environment for ourselves and our colleagues.
Exactly. And it's not just about saying, I follow all safety guidelines. Be specific.
Right. Give a concrete example of a safety protocol you adhere to, like always wearing protective gloves and eyewear when handling chemicals or double-checking machine settings before operating any equipment.
Those are great examples. And you can even tie in the potential risks mentioned in the RoleCatcher guide, like exposure to chemicals, cuts, or even noise pollution.
So you could say something like, I understand that prolonged exposure to certain dyes can be harmful, so I always make sure to wear a respirator mask and work in a well-ventilated area.
That's perfect. You're demonstrating your awareness of the hazards and your commitment to mitigating those risks.
Safety first.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now let's move on to question 5. How do you prioritize and manage your workload?
This is a classic question that comes up in almost every interview, but it's especially relevant in a fast-paced production environment like leather finishing.
You're right. Employers want to know that you can handle multiple tasks, meet deadlines, and stay organized under pressure.
So how should we approach this question?
The key here is to showcase your organizational skills and time management techniques. Do you use to-do lists, a prioritization matrix, time blocking?
Those are all great strategies, and it's important to tailor your answer to the specific job requirements.
Exactly. If the job description emphasizes meeting tight deadlines and handling high-volume orders, make sure to highlight your ability to work quickly and efficiently without sacrificing quality.
And if the role involves collaborating with multiple teams or clients, you could mention your communication and coordination skills.
Those are all great points. Now, this is where RoleCatcher's AI really comes in handy.
Oh, how so?
Their AI can actually analyze the job description you're applying for and provide personalized feedback on your answers, ensuring you're highlighting the skills and experiences that are most relevant to that particular role.
That's amazing. It's like having a personal interview coach in your corner.
It really is. All right, we've covered a lot of ground here, but we've still got more questions to tackle.
Let's keep going. Ready for the next challenge? Before we move on, I think it's worth emphasizing just how valuable RoleCatcher's AI can be throughout your job search.
Yeah, you're right. We've touched on it a bit, but I think we can dive in a little deeper.
For sure.
How can their AI specifically help someone prepare for a leather finishing operator interview?
Well, imagine you're applying for a specific leather finishing operator role, right?
Okay.
You can actually upload the job description to RoleCatcher, and their AI will analyze it and pinpoint the key skills and experience the employer is looking for.
So instead of trying to guess what the hiring manager wants to hear, you're getting data-driven insights.
Exactly. It takes the guesswork out of it, and it goes beyond just keywords, too.
Really?
Yeah, their AI can actually identify underlying themes and nuances in the job description.
Yeah.
So you can really tailor your answers to address those specific points.
Yeah. Okay, so let's say the job posting really emphasizes experience with like distressed leather.
Okay.
How would RoleCatcher's AI help someone highlight that experience effectively?
So in that case, the AI might suggest specific examples to include in your answers. Like maybe a time you successfully applied a distressed finish to a particularly challenging piece.
Okay.
Or how you troubleshoot issues specific to that technique.
So it's like having a personalized interview prep guide crafted by AI just for you.
Pretty much. And let's not forget about the feedback feature.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
You can actually practice your answers and get personalized feedback from the AI to make sure you're hitting all the right notes and presenting yourself as the ideal candidate.
It's like having a personal interview coach right in your pocket.
Exactly.
All right, I'm sold on RoleCatcher. Now let's switch gears a little bit and dive into those career insights from the guide.
Okay, sounds good.
Let's explore the day-to-day realities and maybe even potential growth opportunities for leather finishing operators.
Okay.
So we've talked about the technical aspects of the job, mixing dyes, applying finishes, operating machines. But what about those less obvious skills and qualities that someone needs to really thrive in this role?
Yeah, that's a great point. The career guide actually highlights several important soft skills.
Oh, okay.
For example, strong communication is key, especially when you're collaborating with designers, production teams, and clients.
That makes sense. You're not just working in isolation. It's a very collaborative effort.
Exactly. Problem-solving skills are crucial too. Imagine a situation where a finish isn't adhering properly to the leather.
Oh, that would be a nightmare.
You need to be able to quickly identify the root cause, whether it's an issue with the leather itself, the finish mixture, or the application technique.
So it's like being a leather detective.
Exactly. You've got to investigate, analyze, and come up with a solution.
And then on top of that, I imagine adaptability is pretty important too. The leather industry is constantly evolving, with new trends and techniques emerging all the time.
Absolutely. You can't just rely on what you learned 5 years ago. You need to stay curious, embrace new challenges, and be willing to learn and adapt.
Now let's talk about career progression. What can someone who starts as a leather finishing operator aspire to achieve in the long run?
So the guide actually mentions that with experience, you can progress to more specialized roles, like a master finisher.
Whoa, a master finisher. What does that entail?
You might be entrusted with restoring antique leather, working with exotic leathers like ostrich or stingray, or even developing custom finishes to meet unique client specifications.
So you're essentially becoming like an artisan, pushing the boundaries of leather finishing.
Exactly.
But what if someone is more interested in leadership roles?
There's definitely a path for that too.
Okay.
You could move into a supervisory or management position overseeing a team of leather finishing operators,
Oh, okay.
ensuring quality control and optimizing production processes.
So using your technical expertise and leadership skills to guide and mentor others.
Precisely. And for those with an entrepreneurial spirit, the guide even mentions the possibility of starting your own leather finishing business.
Now that's exciting. Imagine having the freedom to create your own designs, work with the leathers you love, and build your own brand.
It's a dream for many, and the guide provides some great tips for starting out, like building a portfolio of your work, networking with designers and manufacturers, and participating in craft fairs and industry events.
So it's all about building your reputation and showcasing your unique skills and style.
Exactly. So, as you can see, the career path for a leather finishing operator is full of possibilities.
Yeah, it's not just a job, it's a craft, an art form with endless potential for growth and creativity.
Speaking of art, let's switch gears again and dive into some of the nuances of the leather finishing process itself.
Okay, this is where I need to brush up on my knowledge a little bit.
All right, let's do it.
We talked about aniline and nubuck leather earlier.
Right.
Are there other types of finishes that are commonly used in the industry?
There are a few others. The guide mentions pigmented finishes, which are more durable and resistant to staining than aniline leather.
Oh.
But they can also obscure the natural beauty of the leather a bit.
So it's a trade-off between durability and aesthetics.
Exactly. And then there are semi-aniline finishes, which kind of offer a balance between the two.
Okay.
They provide some protection, but still allow some of the natural grain and character of the leather to show through.
It's like finding the perfect balance for each specific application.
Precisely. The choice of finish really depends on the desired look, feel, and performance requirements of the final product.
So a leather finishing operator really needs to have a deep understanding of all these different finishes and their unique properties.
Absolutely. They need to be able to assess the leather, consult with designers, and choose the right finishing techniques to achieve that desired outcome.
This is all so fascinating. I'm really starting to see why this career path is so appealing to those who appreciate craftsmanship and attention to detail.
It truly is a blend of art and science. And the guide really emphasizes the importance of staying up to date with the latest trends and innovations in leather finishing.
Right, so it's not just about mastering those traditional techniques.
Exactly.
It's about embracing new technologies and materials too.
Absolutely. The leather industry is constantly evolving, And a successful leather finishing operator needs to be adaptable and eager to learn.
I can already picture myself experimenting with different dyes and finishes and techniques, creating all sorts of unique and beautiful leather pieces.
Love that.
Just sounds so exciting.
It is. And remember, RoleCatcher's AI can help you every step of the way, from crafting the perfect resume to acing the interview, and even exploring different career paths within the leather industry.
It's like having a personalized career guide powered by AI, always there to support your ambitions.
Exactly. It's a game changer for anyone looking to thrive in today's competitive job market.
Well, I think we've covered a lot of ground here today, from interview prep to career insights, and even a glimpse into the fascinating world of leather finishing itself.
We definitely have, I think we've given our listener a really solid foundation to start their journey into this exciting field. It really is. Is
Right.
it luxurious handbags, durable boots, or maybe restoring vintage furniture to its former glory? What would it be?
Yeah, it's all about finding that spark, that niche where your skills and your passions intersect.
Right.
And with all the amazing resources available through RoleCatcher, you can really explore those possibilities and even connect with other people who share your love for leather.
Oh, for sure. It's a vibrant and supportive community.
Yeah.
And with the right guidance and dedication, you can achieve anything you set your mind to.
Well said. Well, I think it's time for us to wrap up this deep dive into the world of leather finishing operators.
I've really enjoyed exploring this career path with you, and I hope our listener feels inspired and ready to take that next step in their journey.
Me too. Remember, whether you're drawn to the technical precision, the artistic creativity, or maybe even those entrepreneurial possibilities of leather finishing,
Right.
there's a place for you in this industry.
There is.
And don't forget, RoleCatcher is there to support you every step of the way with its AI-powered tools, expert resources, and a passionate community of leather enthusiasts.
Couldn't agree more.
So go out there, explore your options, and let your passion for leather guide you. Who knows, maybe someday we'll be featuring your work on a future deep dive.
That'd be awesome. Until then, happy crafting, everyone.
Happy crafting.